Hello. I started shuffling the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards deck, and the card that emerged was Master Jesus, Forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father healing is possible at this time. Let's read from the guidebook. A man who needs no introduction. Through both the Gospels and the Gnostic Gospels, we have come to know Jesus as a great teacher, loving guide, and generous soul who accepts us all. Although he is the focal point of Christianity, he will respond to anyone who reaches out to him. He helps us overcome sacrificial love when we have to leave behind something in order to get the love we want. He is also the light keeper we can call on for support with forgiveness. He reminds us that our connection to love is the most important connection we will ever create. His twin flame is Mary Magdalene. There's an extended message. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. You are being encouraged to know that whatever you have done to yourself or others, the divine is not condemning you. You don't have to forget what has happened, but you no longer need to allow your whole story to be defined by a situation that doesn't support your happiness. Jesus is here to bring miraculous shifts of healing to you and all those around you, and to release you from the burden of self-loathing. He wants you to know that he sees the child of God within you. He also brings clarity and healing to any situations concerning your Father, either on earth or in heaven. Okay, thank you. I wrote some notes down. But first, let's look at this card here. I'm noticing the blue tones here, making me think of communication related to the throat chakra. And there's a blue right here in the middle of his chest. And the blues here. Blue. Are these blue lotus flowers? Okay, yes. Okay. So let's go through what popped up in my mind as I was going through the message in the guidebook. Master Jesus made me think of Master number 33, which stands for Master Healer and Teacher. And that is what Jesus is known for. His healing and teaching gifts. Those are among the many gifts that he offered the world, and we still feel the impacts of his unconditionally loving energy. I also thought of performing miracles. Jesus performed miracles, right? And of course, other words that popped in my mind in relation to Jesus was love, compassion, forgiveness is huge, right? This is the theme, forgiveness. Unconditional love, acceptance, self-acceptance. And he was a great teacher, which makes sense with the blue throat chakra, using his voice, the power of his voice, to communicate, express love, to be a guide to others. A great teacher. Okay, so that made me think communication, expression, truth speaker, seeker, seer, seeing through illusions, seeing beyond the veil. to see things, view things from an enlightened point of view or perspective. That made me think of the Hanged Man card in the Tarot, the Hierophant, the Empress, and the High Priestess cards. Loving Guide, that made me think teacher. Indeed, that he was a marvelous teacher. Living example and role model, practicing what you preach. Honesty, self-honesty, living authentically, being true to yourself. Which led to me thinking of faith and trust. Also, a loving guide. So that made me think lighthouse, beacon, light worker, seeing the light, and also the hermit. The hermit in the traditional tarot, he's holding a lantern, I believe. Also, there's a mention of sacrificial love in this guidebook. So that made me think of releasing, surrendering, right? Releasing, surrendering the past. Again, that returns to the theme of forgiveness. And there's a phrase here. He reminds us that our connection to love is the most important connection we will ever create. That makes me think, yeah, we are creators of love. We are here to create more love. And I also wrote down, love is the key. And because we are innately love, right? That's our true essence. That's our home frequency. That's the same as saying, we are the key. Love is the key. You are the key. Your vibration of love is the key. You are here to create more love, meaning you are here to be what you truly are. Love. To exude more and more of your home frequency of love. Okay, also, what else popped out at me? Twin flame. Jesus' twin flame was Mary Magdalene. So twin flame stuck out. Also, I suppose, soulmates. Deep soul connections, right? Connections that transcend blood. Connections that transcend time and space. Eternal connections. Another phrase that stood out to me, you no longer need to allow your whole story to be defined by a situation that doesn't support your happiness. You are here to live out happiness. And that will be difficult to achieve if we keep on holding on to the old story, the old beliefs, the limiting beliefs, right? If we continue to define ourselves by all those situations that made us feel unworthy of happiness. Okay, what else stood out to me? Miraculous shifts. You are shifting. If you don't see any significant evidence in your physical reality, for sure, energetically, you are being balanced energetically. You are transforming. Another phrase that stood out to me, burden of self-loathing, burden. That made me think, lighten your load of unworthiness. Another phrase, child of God. You are of the divine. Divinity and human expression. The word child stuck out at me. Inner child healing, right? I'm sure you're doing a lot of that. Healing your wounded inner child. The word clarity stuck out to me. Okay, Ace of Swords, that makes me think. Ace of Swords. Another phrase, healing to any situations concerning your father, either on earth or in heaven. Okay, that refers to the father wound. Father healing is possible at this time. The father wound. Now, when I read this phrase, healing to any situations concerning your father, either on earth or in heaven, I thought the author, Kyle Gray, was referring to God. Father in heaven. That's the phrase that popped in my mind. Father in heaven. So I related that to God, right? Some people refer to God as Father. And God, that made me think, not only of the biological father, that we have or had a relationship with on the earthly realm. But there's also a wounding that many people experience with God. The wounding of feeling abandoned by God, right? Of feeling abandoned by the universe. Another phrase that popped into my mind because we're reading about Master Jesus. Jesus, there's a famous saying, right? I'm sure you've heard it. Jesus, take the wheel. It's about surrender. Forgiving the part of yourself that feels ashamed and less than for asking for help and support. That may be part of your healing as well. This feeling of shame, inadequacy for even asking for help, either from other people in your life or from the divine, feeling unworthy of being supported. So, in thinking about Jesus take the wheel, that phrase, that made me think of, let's see here, a famous Bible verse. And I'll read it to you now. It's from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart. And you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Ooh. It seems every time I read that verse I get emotional. Okay. For me, there's just so much love there in those words. That returns back to the phrase of, that's mentioned, I believe, in this guidebook, about having this burden of self-loathing, to surrender it, to lighten your load. And whatever higher power that you resonate with, the guidance is that it is safe to surrender. That you need not carry the burden all alone. And what stuck out to me when I was reading that verse, the closing words, my burden is light. Those three words especially. Burden is light. That made me think of light, like literally light, you know, light switch, lamp, candle light. And so the words that popped in my mind was, that you carry light within. My burden is light. I carry light within. You carry light within, for you are light. Okay. 19 minutes, all right. All right, let's see. What else comes out? Leadership. 81. You are a leader. You are a leader. That's very apropos, considering what we were reading about regarding Master Jesus. Loving guide, right? A loving leader. Teacher. Yeah, all the words I wrote here. Teacher. Being a living example. Role model. Practicing what you preach. Being honest. Living authentically. Being true to yourself. Leadership, yeah. You are a lighthouse, a beacon. You are here to seed the light of love. The color red makes me think of the root chakra, base chakra, stability. A strong leader needs to be stable, strong, solid from within. '81 reduces to a 9. That makes me think that you've concluded a cycle. Of course, multiple cycles. You go through multiple cycles, the seasons of life. You're growing stronger and stronger from within. Well, look at this. Continuing on the theme of being a guide, a teacher, a leader, we have teaching and learning. Number 57. Crown chakra, third eye, heart chakra. You're balancing out energetically. You're being healed energetically. Yeah. Miraculous shifts are happening within you. As within, so without. Expect to see shifts in your physical reality as well. The more you align energetically. Teaching and learning, yes. Teachers are also constantly learning. The eternal teacher and learner. Constantly evolving. Answering the soul's call to continue to evolve. Excuse me. Aha, look at this. This is just coming together very synchronistically. The universe is delightful. 78, spiritual career. This is part of what you will be doing in this lifetime. Okay, I'm noticing the 7 and 8. 7, 8, progressive forward-moving energy. Pink, purple. Love, self-love. Your relationship with Source, with the Divine, is growing stronger, and your self-respect, self-acceptance is increasing. Your intuition is sharpening. More purples. 99. I mentioned 9 here. 8 plus 1. You may be seeing 9s. 999. Compassion. This is beautiful. Oh, whew. Jesus, hand me a tissue. Do you see how beautiful? Do you see how beautiful the universe is? Compassion. That is what Jesus taught us. Oh, you are a compassionate soul. And look at this. I mentioned the progressive energies, the forward moving energies. 7, 8. 7, 8, 9. Keep going. I think I mentioned trust and faith. Surrender. Having trust and faith. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Maybe not. Oh, here, right here. In reference to the loving guide, living authentically, being true to yourself, leading me to think of faith and trust, right? Just trust. Have trust. Things are working out. Even if it doesn't seem like in the physical right now. Those synchronicities that you are noticing because your awareness is heightening. Your intuition is heightening, getting stronger and stronger. Believe that you are evolving, that you are transforming. And look at the synchronicities in this reading. If you found this reading, it is, and it resonates with you, believe that feeling within you. That is your heart. That is your soul. That is your intuition. That is your connection to your divinity. Speaking to you through this message. You manifested this message. So keep going. Keep going. You're making progress. Trust it. Have faith. I think I'm going to end it there because we're at 30 minutes. Whew, boy. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Beautiful soul. Keep going.